This video is a tutorial on how to utilize track changes and other collaboration tools available in Microsoft Word 2007. This tutorial was designed for students who may be collaborating with classmates or instructors, but it is just as applicable in any setting. I'm assuming that you have some familiarity with the basics of Word, such as how to create and save a file or how to add and delete text. What we'll be looking at are only slightly more advanced editing and revision tools. The tutorial will have the following order. First, we'll look at customizing user information and how to use the track changes functions. Then we'll take a quick look at comment bubbles, and finally you'll learn how to accept and reject other people's changes. You should recognize this window as being the standard view for Word 2007. I've gone ahead and opened up the file I plan to work with. You'll want to do the same if you haven't done so yet. You may or may not be familiar with the various tabs that run across the top of the window. For the purposes of this tutorial, we'll be working with the Review tab. When you click the Review tab, you'll find, among others, a set of icons related to tracking changes. The very first thing we'll want to do is customize the information about ourselves these tools use when we move to collaborate with other users. Windows asks you for username and information when you first install Office, but we'll make sure it says what we want it to. Next to the Track Changes icon is an arrow that displays a drop-down menu. You'll want to click Change Username. Now you should see a dialog box. At the bottom of the box is a set of fields in which you can customize your name and initials. I'm entering my name and initials to be used here. You should do the same. Once you're done, click the OK button and return to your text. The next thing we're going to do is turn on track changes. You do this by clicking the track changes icon. You should know that you can customize what information you want track changes to display. We're not going to cover that here, but you can look it up on Microsoft's website if you'd like more information. When you track the changes being made to a document, you have the option to view the document in 4 different ways. The original text. This option shows the document without any changes since you turned on track changes. The final version of the text. This shows the document after all changes have been made. The last 2 ways have to do with how the changes you make are displayed. The first option is Final Showing Markup. This option displays changes within the text, while the other option, Original Showing Markup, displays changes in the margins. We'll show you the difference between these options in a second. For now, let's take a look at the default view, Final Showing Markup. As you can see, I'm making some minor changes to the text so that you can see how the track changes displays the changes that you make to the document. It looks a little different from the default method of editing, but this tool allows us to remember what we've changed so that if we need to, we can easily change things back. If you cycle through some or all of the Show Markup options, you can see how your text is displayed differently on the screen. Ultimately, I'm going to return to the original style I chose, Final Showing Markup, but you should choose whichever viewing option seems the most comfortable. These markup view options disappear when tracking changes ends or when you've accepted and rejected changes, which is something you'll see shortly. Next tool we'll demonstrate is comment bubbles. Comment bubbles works excellently in conjunction with tracking changes. They allow you to add comments to the text. There are a number of reasons why you may want to use the comment feature. You can make notes for yourself about changes you plan to make later. You can ask questions for other potential collaborators, and so on. The first thing you need to know is that a comment is added at the location of your cursor within the text. Anytime you want to add a comment bubble, make sure your cursor is located where you want the comment to be. Otherwise, the bubble may refer to a location in your text that may not make sense. I'm going to put my cursor here so that I can add a comment. Now that we have our location marked, let's go ahead and add a comment. To the left of the track changes icons is a set of icons, one of which is marked New Comment. Go ahead and click on New Comment. Notice the bubble appears in the margin with a line tracing back to where the cursor was located. This marker may appear slightly different on your screen if you're using a different markup view. Remember when we changed our user information earlier? Note that your initials are in the bubble. This lets you or any other reader know who added the comment. Now we'll see what a file looks like in Word when multiple collaborators have worked on a document. This particular version of my document has been modified by a few other individuals. You can see by the identifying marks who has suggested which changes. For comment bubbles, each contributor's comments are color-coded to stand out from those from the other contributors. You have the ability to accept and reject changes that anyone has made to your document. Here I'm going to accept this change by right-clicking with the mouse and selecting Accept Change. After it is accepted, it is no longer recognized by Word as being a change made during the track changes process. An alternative method for accepting or rejecting changes is to use the accept and reject icons. Before clicking either icon, you'll want to make sure your cursor is at the particular change you want to resolve. Then you'll click accept or reject. If you have looked through all the proposed changes made to your text and would like to accept or reject all of them at once, there are options below the accept and reject icons. Be careful using this option. I can only recommend this to you if you're absolutely sure and you've looked over the entire document first. By now you've learned to use a number of tools available to you in Word 2007 that can help in a variety of settings, from an academic classroom to business environments. With these tools you can improve the revisions possible to documents that you'll be working on yourself as well as to those you may be working on with others. Thanks for watching.